You are listening to the Urban Sports Scene. We are also part of Empire Media. That's empiremedia.com. I'm Wole. I'm joined by my co-host Ray Jeezy. What's going on, Ray?
All is well, but you know the story about Morgan State came out yesterday
Yeah, I
in
heard.
terms of what happened with the shooting on campus, and now all homecoming festivities are canceled. This is the first time in school history, so it's pretty sad that right now Morgan State doesn't feel like the campus is safe enough to even hold public events. So my prayer really is for, of course, the people who are impacted by the shooting, as well as hoping that the person that is responsible can be caught, so that way the school can get back to normal and have some peace, my brother.
Yeah, it sounds like a blowout, man. It sounds like the days when we was at college at Easter Shore when they would cancel homecoming. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Homecoming never got canceled.
not
They
canceled
would
with a
cancel
party. Was it a
parties.
party? The party got
They would
canceled.
cancel
They
parties,
canceled.
yeah,
So they canceled the
because of
whole
violence.
homecoming, like the whole festivity.
Everything's canceled right now,
Damn.
and or when they say cancel and or postpone. So let's just say in the next 2 days they have a suspect apprehended, then they're going to reschedule the football game because they have to. That's on the schedule, and then they can start to work around the dates. But this is the first time in school history, as I said, so it's unprecedented. So much money, so much went into it, but the student body was on board, the student government. It was a tough decision, but it was one that I understand. So definitely want to remember how important it is just to keep our folks safe and just encouraging people to be safe. But it's just a sad time that we live in where this stuff happens, unfortunately, and I don't really know how to prevent it. But Morgan State is HBCU, it's a historic one. All of them are, but I'm just saying it's a big one, and we just want to make sure that we continue to keep them in our thoughts.
What's the so I ain't really I just saw that it was like I saw what happened, but what's the story? Was a student that this a student did all this, or
we don't know if it's a student. They haven't
okay.
they haven't really released much information on a potential suspect, but it was 4 other 5 people shot were students, all between somewhere between 18 and 22. Yeah, so it's no joke, man. But all non-life threatening. That's the biggest blessing that came from it.
That's a blessing.
Everybody's
All
gonna be
right. I
okay.
mean, not just be all like whatever, but it's still bad. But it's a blessing though.
No,
Like,
of course. I mean, you come out with your life, man.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
That is sad to hear. To be honest with you, homie. Yeah, 'cause I know Will. I mean, we was talking about something else, right? And then like when Will mentioned that, homecoming is canceled. I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Oh well,
You know what I'm saying?
because I mean they broke that story earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
That we'll come out the news always on
super late
West Coast time. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, I mean, I know definitely HBCU game they had it like almost right away. Shout out to them, and even Morgan's social media outlets, they put it out there prior to anybody really announcing it. The school announced it, and then the social media outlets announced the news. So I mean, to me, it hurts for every HBCU when you see another one go through something like that. Not only is it violence, but you also have the biggest event in your school canceled. It just sucks, man. But they're gonna come through it. You've come through worse, man. That's why HBCUs are where they are today. And hey, we're gonna stay positive, brother. I'm just saying we're gonna shout out Morgan State, man. That's our folks.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
We used to get at them on homecoming days sometimes when we was in school back in the day. We got to laugh a little bit, but real talk.
Yeah, we got all love for him, man. Like just the most important thing, man, I'm glad that no one was hurt. I mean, no one lost their lives. Put like that. Like, and I'm glad that no one lost their lives, because obviously there is a mental aspect of it to go through that situation, man. Hopefully, people get well, get right. You know what I'm saying? God is with you, so it is what it is, man. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel as well. I'm going through all this, Ray. I forgot that you was. It's all good. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. Hey, Ray, did I mention YouTube?
Yeah.
Did I skip that? All right. So
you mentioned it. It's just we kind of going off an old script because we're on YouTube live now, so it's not like hit us up at YouTube. Like if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching off YouTube, yeah, subscribe to us, man. Hit that red subscribe button, like this video. So but folks are watching this on, just not just YouTube. They on Facebook Live,
yeah, no doubt.
They on X Live. So depending where you are, if you on YouTube, if you're on Facebook Live right now, jump on YouTube, hit us with the subscribe button. If you're on X, jump on YouTube, hit us with the subscribe button. regardless of the fact. And if you on YouTube, go to X and follow us. You know what I'm saying? If you on YouTube, if go on Facebook and like us, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's all working together. Anyway, we'll see you in the building. He would normally say this. It's time for the pregame. Let's get into our tradition. The pregame. Here's what we have on tap. All right. So we'll talk about the Washington Commanders losing a heartbreaker to the Philadelphia Eagles in overtime and tomorrow's Thursday night game against the Chicago Bears. We're supposed to chop it up with former Redskin linebacker Robert Henson. I think Robert's a little bit late, but I saw him retweet it, so I think he just recently retweeted something. So hopefully he'll jump on. At 8:25, we'll talk about Dame Lillard being traded to the Milwaukee Bucks and Jrue Holiday being traded to the Boston Celtics. Jus Blaze from the Above the Rim podcast will join us to discuss the trades. Then finally at 8:50, we'll talk about Canelo Alvarez defeating Jermell Charlo by unanimous decision Saturday night, and Fury Usyk fight signed for late 2023 or early 2024. Wayne and Jermayne from the Adams Boxing Show will join us to discuss both boxing topics. All right, Ray, I'm going to ask you the first question. We'll talk about Sunday's game. Sunday, the Commanders fell to the Philadelphia Eagles 34-31 in OT. The Commanders were so close to hanging on. They were so close to hanging with the Eagles for a minute, and Eagles suffered for the Eagles to suffer their first loss, but they did not. Thoughts on that game, my man?
Before I give my thoughts, shout out to those who are listening now. I know you see the comments, Wole. Tap in. Cam was good. We appreciate you.
I'm seeing now.
Show. That's what's going down. Wole just made an appearance. Hey, listen, we appreciate you. And I'm not going to talk too much about this Commanders game because it's been discussed already so much in terms of moral victories and what this may mean for the team. Of course, they went into Philly and played the Eagles as about as hard as you can. We knew that was coming. Wole, we talked about it pregame that the Commanders were going to go in and they were going to approach this like any divisional opponent that they play against. They were going to play tough because most time you play against a division rival, it's always a game that you get up for. But Washington also has something to prove because they came off such an ugly loss, and what a bounce back it was. So it's amazing that when you lose, you can come out with more positive vibes. And I'm wondering if people realize that a loss is a loss. You get beat 38-3, you lose by 3 the next week, it's still a loss. Either way, it's the L and L column. But you saw more encouraging signs. Emmanuel Forbes looked like he deleted his social media. I want to get people to like chill because
they extra, right? They extra, rookie, man. They extra.
He's a rookie. He's extremely talented.
Yeah, they extra.
And really, the coach didn't necessarily put him in the best position. There should have been some adjustments made. Danny Johnson's name's been thrown out there. Someone who could have been put on AJ Brown. I don't know if that was the right adjustment. Right adjustment. We're talking about in terms of size. St. Juice, of course, as well. What was your thoughts on that, Wole?
I mean, I like Danny Johnson. I think he should play. I've always said Danny Johnson. It's because when we talk about HBCUs often, it's just where you come from, bro. Because I think once he plays, dog, he produces. It is what it is. But in terms of Emmanuel Forbes, like you going against AJ Brown, you went against Stephon Diggs. One week you went against AJ Brown. You going against the best of the best. This is something you're gonna learn from. I just don't like that people are getting on him early to a point where this is a young man and he gotta like get off Twitter, or X, whatever. Folks need to chill. Like they did this with Jamin Davis. Jamin like blocked a lot of people. Like, and y'all act why. And I think Rob, y'all act like y'all don't know why people want to leave the city. You know what I'm saying? When y'all act this way, let me introduce our guest.
But and before you bring Rob in, why is the word trash thrown out so freely these days? How can you call somebody trash
when they can't even do it?
They play against one of the top receivers in the league, and they're a rookie. Like I don't get it. I get so frustrated with fans. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, well, let me introduce our guest. Right now, we have former Redskin linebacker Robert Henson on the show. What's going on, Rob, my man?
Not much, man. How's it going? Thanks for having me on, man.
Man, thanks for being on, my man. So we were talking about the game on Sunday. Washington, they held their own against the Eagles. I want to know your thoughts on that game, man. What was your opinion watching that game?
Man, I felt like it was a typical home game in Philly. Crowd was out in full effect, but I think Washington did very well. Sam Howell impressed me with the amount of pressure that he saw, and he stood in there and delivered what I thought was some great passes. Very disheartening to lose that game by 3. People get mad at me all the time because I always say I'd rather lose a game by 21 than 3.
I get why.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I get
100%.
why. I
Because
get why.
because if you when you lose by 3, you start thinking of the small details and the small plays that constantly on repeat in your head, what you could have done differently. I shouldn't have stepped that way. I should have went here. But man, I like where we are. I think we are gonna split with Philly. I think we know that we are formidable in the division. Everybody wrote us off for 4th in the division, but obviously that spot belonged to them Giants. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they man, listen, you should
They
have
something.
man.
They something. They
None,
something.
none makes me happier than seeing Dayball's face throwing when he threw that tablet. Because I mean, you chose to pay this guy over Saquon.
Saquon. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I know,
and
right?
it's
It's your
really
own
biting
fault.
him in the backside.
Yeah, it's your
But
fault.
but with Diggs going down, even before Diggs going down, I still thought we were formidable to Dallas. So people writing us off, man, and I don't, we got a chance. We got a chance to come out, especially with Sam playing in what's essentially his rookie season. I mean, the way he's playing, Eric Bieniemy was definitely worth all the hype. He earned it and he lived up to it. So he did a phenomenal job calling that game. And after last week's press conference, um, we were a little skeptical when he said all the things that he said after the last press conference, but he came out and he proved it, man. So I heard y'all going in on about people talking about Emmanuel Forbes. I think I think he's doing a great job, man. AJ Brown's a bad matchup for
Yes.
anybody. So and that's the best way to learn, honestly, is to just get in there and do it, man. It would have been easy to put him on Devontae or somebody or try to hide him. But you in the NFC East, this is a division with elite receivers. Jump right in. So, I'm looking at Washington's schedule going forward. There's no reason we can't be, 6-2 or 5-3 with this schedule coming up.
So do you think what would your message be to the fans though, to who hate on him so hard to a point where he gotta get off X? I hate saying X, but X Twitter, whatever. But what would the message be to them? Because I feel like that's something the fans don't understand. Sometimes they don't, especially in today's generation and with social media and whatnot. Sometimes you can a player can ill on the fan base to a point where they don't want to be here no more. You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah.
would you say to the
So
fans?
what I would say is we ain't Philly. Calm down. Because we acting like Philly fans right now. They cheer you on when you're good, and then the first time you make a mistake, the boo birds come out.
True.
The kid's a rookie. Give him a chance. He's a formidable corner. We thought he was small. We didn't see that draft pick coming. I was skeptical of the pick myself.
Yeah.
But after what I saw from him so far this season, I think he's going to be. He's got a chance to be elite. Definitely great ball skills. Attacks the ball at the point of catch. I mean, he didn't back down from AJ.
No.
You can tell that. Even when he gave up plays, he still came back. Like, I'm right here. So, he got a little bit of that dog in him. So, I see that. And I just tell the fans to calm down. And truthfully, you don't know what you're getting from a player until year 2 or 3. So let's just chill. We got to put him in a position to make plays as well. So it's not all on the coaches and it ain't all on the players. There's a shared responsibility. And the people that are saying that, man, listen. They can't even catch the remote when they fall off the arm of the couch. Calm down. Relax.
Speaking of the fans, there's been this controversy about whether "quote unquote" Riverboat Ron should have went for 2. Sam Howell came through in the clutch. You talk about Forbes having a dog. Sam got that dog too.
Sam definitely got some dog in
Big
it.
throw on the road, divisional rival, and you come in clutch where no quarterback prior to him could make that throw up until this point, except for maybe Rob back in 2012. But big time stuff. And then Coach Rivera trusted his defense, and then you got the ball to start overtime. So I was cool with the decision. What were your thoughts on that decision?
Yeah, I was good with the decision, man. Like I said, man, if we'd have lost by 21, we would have had 10 questions. But we lost by 3, so now we got 50. You know what I mean? So everybody, want to go over the small, minute details, man. This is a game of reaction. I mean, you got little to no time to make split-second decisions, and you got to live with the consequences, man. So, man, honestly, I think the presence of the enemy has pushed Ron, as far as his decision making and giving Eric the enemy full control, and just it made him fall back a little bit, and I like that right now. Still got a hill to climb with me personally, in reference to Ron Rivera, but this team's on the right track, man. We can't nitpick everything, man. They've lost 2 games. They 2-2. They 500 right now. Preseason people predicted us to be 0-4 right now, so chill.
Absolutely. So you rocking the TCU gear, man. I'm gonna kind of ask a question with this because week 1 you go against Coach Prime. The whole show came.
I knew it was coming, man. Listen.
Hey, look though. It's still a Washington question. I promise you.
No, it don't matter. You good.
After the game, right? The players were like, you know what? Y'all played tough. You got some turnover. New players on the team. You should feel good about it. Like, hell no, we didn't win. We wanted that game. Everybody's watching one of the highest rated television games in a while. So similar sentiment here. Is it a moral victory because you went into Philly with a rookie QB basically, and you played them tough, almost pulled it out? Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a moral victory. I'm good with any other terminology that you might want to throw out there. There's more than one way to get it done. But moral victories don't do nothing for you in the league. But I will say this though, it's not a moral victory, but that team showed me something.
Okay.
Just like they showed me, they showed what they proved to the world, or what they proved to Washington fans, and what Washington fans can hang their hat on is that Denver game wasn't a fluke.
There you go.
That's who they are.
No,
that's exactly who they are.
No, that's a good point. I definitely. So I'm gonna talk about the defense. You know what I'm saying? Because this has been a sore spot for me because you put equity in this. You know what I mean? This is where you put equity in. You know what I'm saying? And they gave up 34 to the Eagles. This is a solid 34. This ain't a 34 with turnovers from the offense. This is a 34.
Right.
This is a 34 you earn. You earn this 34, right?
Yeah.
So going to and they gave up 30 against the Broncos. The Buffalo, you can whatever. That's a little bit, I know, because of turnovers, whatever. Do you feel there's an issue with the defense? And if so, what is the issue?
Hey man, listen. I wouldn't call it an axe grind. I don't think there's an issue with the defense. I do think there's some issues with the situational play calling.
Okay.
There may be some smoke there, but I hadn't seen enough yet to make that to accuse Del Rio of that. But what I will say is there are players in that defense that oftentimes look lost. Particularly, as you know, Wall, man, I be all over that linebacker position, dog. If they breathe wrong, cause I'm looking at it scheme wise, everything. I mean, it's hard to get anything past me because I focus on that position. But man, the player Cody Barton, man, sticks out to me, man. I hate name calling the guy. I know he had a decent year with Seattle last year, and this is really kind of his moment, right? To see what he can do in a different system. Was it Seattle system? Was it him individually? And right now, the data saying it was Seattle. So man, he is man. Jamin's come along a little bit. I like watching him play now. But man, Cody Barton, man, I just don't understand. He don't look aggressive. He don't you got to do something good, man.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like you play the run good. We could always hang our hat on somebody, on some player. You can always say, hey, they do this good. They need work in this area. This area for improvement. This area. Man, it's hard for me to be critical of a guy playing at the highest level, but I will say he sticks out to me big time. I don't understand his role. I don't understand what they are asking him to do. I will say that too, because it may be something outside of him. But man, he just looked lost, man. He don't look aggressive at the point of attack. He watching guys run by him and then tackling them. That tells me you ain't you ain't really like that. You know what I mean? So that'd be the only weak spot I would see in this defense right now. Obviously, the young secondary, they still got some things to prove, but linebacker play right now is not high.
Yep, so my man Cam said defense is still turning around. It's early enough. It's early in the season. Yeah, they can turn around. This is my thing about the defense. I mean, because it's a trend, right? Because I've seen a post on X saying like usually Jack starts slow. You know what I'm saying? And I've said I'm gonna be redundant because I've said this on multiple shows, on our show, and on other shows that there's levels to playing defense. It's cool if you want to be top 10. If you want, because with the talent, if you want to be top 10, that's fine. You want to be top 10, right? That's fine. You coach the top 10 because eventually it's kind of evens out. You're going to play some teams, right? They're kind of like bad in offense where it can kind of help your numbers with the talent Washington does have on defense. Getting sacks. You saw that in Arizona, getting sacks against Arizona. Mm-hmm. But there is an element of you wanting to be the defense, though. Like you want to be. That means I'm trying to take your lunch money. I'm not trying to give you my lunch money. And I don't think like they coach like the system for what it is. And so, like you mentioned, like the system for what it is, they're not coached. It's not put into a point where we're trying to snatch your lunch money. Because they even like I remember we had Breland on one of our shows, and Breland was like, "This is a bend but don't break defense." I was like,
absolutely,
I don't like that. Like I don't like that. Right. I don't like that. And I get it with certain talent, certain defenses because of the talent, right? I get that. Like a bend but don't break defense. But this is the defense you going into the season. Folks like they like the safety play. You put equity in cornerbacks by drafting fours. The defensive line is stout. You drafted James. Cody Barton is Cody Barton. I've been negative on this dude, period. But you still have enough around to be better than what you are. Instead of like sitting back and saying, okay, we want to see you, take it the length of the field on our defense. How about just taking it away? Like I'm not giving you nothing. And I feel like they cool with giving up stuff.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Mm-hmm. Defense is difficult, especially you understand it's an offensive league, man. True. People want to see points scored. People want to see big hit, big touchdown catches, and the big hit's been taken out of the game. It's hard to separate a guy from the ball without drawing a flag. Man, it's an offensive game, man. You can't even sack the quarterback. You got to lay him down with a pillow and all that. You know what I mean? It's an offensive league, man. But I think the saying still holds true that defense wins championships. Agreed. So I do think there's something to, like we talked about, having that dog in you and going out there and taking people, snatching people's soul from them, right? Nice. Go out there and take their will to win. I think that second half of Denver, we saw that.
Yes, I agree.
And I think it starts, man, like it or not, that D-line is the heart and soul of that defense. Ain't no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. They're going to go, that defense will go as far as that D-line will take him. 3 games, 3 sacks for Chase Young. Sweat been hit a mess every now and then, but he's still having a decent season so far. Mm-hmm. Man, they just got to get pressure, man. Teams know that. They scheming against that defense. So top 10, top 5. Well, Kansas City didn't have a top 10 defense last year. They won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, it's an offensive league, man. And I think offense is the last key for Washington to figure out and put it all together.
So based on what you're saying, real quick, is this still a defensive football team then?
It's a defensive football team, but it's starting to draw even. If we get another sample size of games that we've seen, like we've seen this past week from Sam Howell, I think the defense will relax. There's something to be said, man. Honestly, when I was playing and Jason Campbell was a quarterback and John Beck and the whole carousel, Rex Grossman, man, y'all don't understand how deflating it is when you get an interception. I just came off the field. I just played 12, 14 plays. I'm tired, bro. I'm trying to rest up, get ready again, dog. I may have to play some special teams. You throw an interception, you throw a pick. I guarantee ain't no player on that field grabbing their helmet after interception or turnover going, yeah, all right, let's go do this. Like, no, they're like, damn, again? Like, what we doing? So there's a little bit of mental fatigue there as well as physical. But if that offense can continue to come out and show what they showed this past week, even in the face of a loss. It'll start to draw even more.
So Washington, they got the Bears up next, man. What do they need to do to get this W? You know, this could be a trap game because a lot of people talking like this is going to be sweet. So what they need to do to get this W?
No, that coverage still need to be tight on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, don't rush past the quarterback. We know Justin Fields is a tremendous talent with his legs. He still hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown that he's an arm talent. So that's still a test to me. I mean, just given his unique ability to make and extend plays, it's going to be good. And if I'm that D line, I'm hunting. Like this is the game to hunt for sacks right here. You know, not much pocket awareness from a young quarterback, but still, again, that ability to move and groove. And don't sleep on Mooney. Don't sleep on Moore and those guys.
Yeah.
If they get some separation, they can make plays and they can hit home runs. I think they'll continue to lean on Herbert in that running game as much as they can. But you're right. This is a trap game from Washington.
So give me your prediction. Game prediction. What score?
We score.
Yeah, give me your score.
Let's see. We put up 30-something last week. I'm gonna say we going 31-10.
31-10. Okay, so you got the defense showing out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 31-10. That's my prediction because I mean 2 back-to-back weeks, 2 good back-to-back good offensive weeks hasn't been done yet, and they prime to do so. And people forget offenses typically hit they stride in week 4 and 5. You know what I mean? It takes a while, so they come along a little bit later than the defense in most cases. So.
Man, that's good. I'm gonna be at the game. That's good. I can leave early because that traffic is mad.
that traffic is crazy. Both the 95's trash.
Hey, Rob.
Listen.
Before we let you go, you know, we'll let you know I joke about this often. A coach once told us, know the mindset of your opponent. It's a lot of disorganization around that Bears team. As a matter of fact, they're being called the new Washington because
that you know what? Exactly.
And how important is it that you hit these dudes in the mouth early, similar to how you came out in Philly and you struck first?
A good team win the game they're supposed to win. A good team wins the games they supposed to win. 100%. If you can't come out and do that, you can't come out and take care of business against a team that you're supposed to beat. We felt the same way against Arizona, right? Like, damn, why this game so close, man? They playing Josh Dobbs. Why this game so close? They playing down to their competition.
Yeah.
So you come out, you win the games you're supposed to win. We skated behind that one. We came out against a Broncos team that I definitely didn't think was better than us. Matter of fact, I was still living in Denver when that game went down. So I was gonna be afraid to go to work on Monday if they lost that one. So, but they supposed to win this game, man, and I think they will. And this is gonna be a coming out party offensively for a couple of receivers, obviously. Dotson, we thought he would have a immediate impact in year 2. I need my man to come along. Samuel did look pretty good already.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Jamison Crowder thing, but I'm gonna let him have it. Maybe they know something I don't know.
Look, man, it's better than that. You know, just saying.
I agree.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
I agree. 100%.
I'll take anything over that, though. I'll take anything over that.
I don't know why they kept him either, man.
I'm trying to figure that out. I don't. There's
he got somebody nudes.
He got somebody. He got
somebody nudes, bro.
He got.
No, hey, Rob, but yeah.
Hey man, Rob, thanks for being on, man. We appreciate you, homie. Thank you so much for giving us your time, man.
31.
Well, no, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Right. That's dope, man. Yeah, man.
Hey, listen, bro.
What's up?
That's what people feel. I don't like the 31-10 prediction. That's when it gets scary.
I know. I feel you. He scared me with that, Joe. I ain't gonna hold you. But anyway, man, Sunday was exciting. But was this right? Yeah. Actually, Sunday was exciting. I'm geeking. Sunday was exciting, but the right, you know, I'm still up right now. Sunday was exciting, but the NBA dropped a few shockers last week. And I'm going to introduce my homie, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Jus Blaze, what's going on, bruv? Jus Blaze is the host of the Above the Rim podcast. What's going on, my man?
Yo, fellas, what's going on? Wole, I appreciate the invite, my brother. Ray, nice to talk to you again, my brother. Appreciate the invite, fellas.
Oh, no doubt, man. And before we get into what we brought you on for, we came here for, what was your thoughts when you saw Jimmy Butler, bro?
I'm not gonna lie, fellas. That shit had me laughing. I'm not gonna lie. Because, yo, I'm sitting here. What's going on with Fallout Boy or whatever?
Oh no,
whatever
my boy. It's so funny. One of my homeboys growing up, I thought he was trying to throw shade at me. He was like, "What's up with your dark skin folks?" I was like, "Bro, you shut up, dude. I know you're trying to say."
Absolutely. And remember last year, he already came into the season with dreads last year.
I know. What are you doing?
Weave.
Yeah,
weave last year.
Yeah, folks question like, how you grow hair so fast? Like, Jimmy on one.
Nah, that was the 8 Mile, what you call them? What was the dude name? Makai Pfeiffer joint.
Oh, yeah, Makai Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Papa Doc.
Yeah, the soul. Yeah. I don't know. Jimmy is wilding, fellas.
Jimmy tripping big time, man.
Absolutely.
Oh man, we already have folks. We had my man Dujan. They already rolling out with this joint. Oh man, and it's not a game, but yeah, man, it's an exciting time in the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks acquired Damian Lillard in a 3-team trade with the Portland Trail Blazers and the Phoenix Suns. Portland received Jrue Holiday, who ended up somewhere else. We'll talk about that. Unprotected Bucks pick in 2029 and a first round swap in 2028 and 2030. The Blazers get DeAndre Ayton. That's my man, Just favorite player.
You know what? I'm not mad at him.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay. Well, setting Usyk and Nazir Little to the Suns, and also the Bucks get sent Grayson Allen to the Suns as well. All right, this is the first question: is Giannis and Dame a great fit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think they're a phenomenal fit. I actually think they are the ideal pairing for each other. Actually,
Gotcha.
when you look at the way both players play on offense and on defense, but we'll stick to offense right now for particulars. They're a match made in heaven. I think what Giannis has always been missing is that small attacking guard that can get his shot from anywhere on the floor and also can hit a three from anywhere on the floor. We look at Damian Lillard; he's one of the better 3-point shooters in the league. Obviously, top 3. I think, in my opinion, 3-point shooter in the league. He can hit off the dribble. He can spot up. He can do it all. And then, most importantly, he's not fearful in the moment. Now, if we're looking at Giannis, if we're being honest sometimes, if we're all being honest with each other, Giannis has a tendency to get shook at the end of the games. If we're all being honest with each other, we've seen him in a few playoff series when it gets toward the end of the game. It's actually in that Miami series last year. I forgot what game it was. I think it was game 5 or game 6. He had an opportunity to score twice, and at the end of the game, I think it was in the elimination game. He passed up the rock. I forgot to who it was. I believe it was Grayson Allen or somebody like that, who with 1 second left to take the shot. When Giannis it have been no decision other than him taking the shot. So I feel like at times Giannis does have a tendency to be a little bit fearful when it goes toward the end of the game, also because of his free throw shooting as well. Yeah. So having a guy like Damian Lillard inserted to the lineup is just going to make Giannis better, because now it makes him less scared to attack, less scared to make mistakes, because he knows he has somebody better than him on the offensive side of the ball who's not afraid to take those shots. So I love the pairing between those two, especially on the offensive side.
Does it hurt the defense, though?
A tad bit. I think it does hurt the defense a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because come on now. Jrue Holiday is one of the better defensive guards in the league, if not the best perimeter defensive guard in the league. So does it hurt the defense? Obviously, yes, it hurts it on the perimeter. But then again, you think about it. Who are the guards in the East that they really have to really contend with, that so much so where Damian Lillard can't guard any of them? You got Trae Young. He can put up 25 to 30, but you can overcome a 25 to 30-point game, 40-point game from Trae Young. Who else they got? Jaylen Brown. Damian Lillard won't be guarding him anyway. Who else is in the East? James Harden. He wouldn't be guarding him anyway. He would probably be guarding Tyrese Maxey. And listen, if Dame can't hold his own against Tyrese Maxey, we got a problem there. All right, that means he's not the Dame that we all know. Yeah. Anybody else in the East? Who else are we worried about in the East as guards in particular?
Jalen Brunson.
Nobody. Jalen Brunson.
He get buckets.
Yeah, but what's the name? I believe Malik Beasley or I'm forgetting not Middleton, because he's playing at 3. Malik Beasley. No, for the Bucks. I forgot the other two. Who's their backup two? Malik Beasley and Wesley Matthews.
Matthews. He don't matter.
That's their hole. That's the hole in the Bucks lineup is at the 2 guard spot. So you can either move Middleton down to the 2, but I feel like he plays better at the 3. And then you have those 2 guys who are guarding the 2 opposing perimeter offensive players. So he's gonna have to defend better. I'll tell you that. He's not gonna be able to take possessions off because he doesn't have that luxury here. But hopefully, and I think it will, his offense will be so dominant that it offsets any defensive deficiencies that Damian Lillard has. So I think they'll be all right in the Eastern Conference.
So another question then, who's the one? Who is the one? Yeah, who's the one? Is it It's still Giannis?
Oh, who's the first option? Oh, it's still Giannis.
It's still Giannis. Even though Dame's a better offensive player?
Yes, I mean, no, I would disagree. I don't think Dame's a better offensive player. I think Giannis is a better offensive player because he has the ability to be more dominant. I think, especially on the inside. Now we know he got to get better at that jump shot. We know he got to get better at that pull up J. We know he got to get better at that 3-point shooting. We know he's a little shook to shoot those shots, but we also do know that Giannis is going to make sure he gets into the paint, and that to me, I think is most important. That he knows where his bread is buttered. And that's in the paint. So we know at times in the playoffs, he's gonna run into a little bit of trouble, but that's where Damian Lillard can be the alpha to take over from Giannis. I don't think Jrue probably was alpha enough on the offensive side to really say, "Yo, give me the rock and get out of my way, chill." And that's what they need Damian Lillard to do. So I think Giannis is still one option, but it's like a 1A, 1B type. I think for the Bucks.
Okay.
How y'all feel about that? You think it's Dame?
I'm different. I'm sure Ray's gonna say it's Giannis. I think it's Dame. I just think Dame is, in terms of a player who just can score easy. Giannis scores easy because he plays bully ball. That's a whole different thing. Yeah, but I think Dame, in terms of like those, it's like a Steph Curry thing. It's the heavyweight punch that hurts. And Dame is a crippler.
Impact.
Yeah, he's a crippler. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when he scores in bunches, he can take away your will. It's different. You know, being in Portland, it's a little different the way the team is constructed. So I understand the frustrations in Portland. I thought him and CJ were a good combo, but that's a whole different discussion. But they couldn't defend exactly. But here, this team is predicated on defense. Like Milwaukee is still predicated on defense because Giannis is your best player as a defender. Giannis is one of the better defenders in the NBA. And then you have so Dame is allowed to do a little bit more. So if you allow Dame to do a little bit more as a scorer, what he does, you gotta guard Dame throughout the court. Like you gotta guard. There's no break on Dame. Like Giannis, there's a break. Like, to be real with you, like I'll sag on you and I can entice Giannis to take that J. You can't do nothing with Dame. There's nothing that you can really take away from Dame if you really want to keep it a buck. Like there's nothing. If Dame is off, he's off. That's the difference, right? Because Giannis is scoring in the paint, so he's going to get a higher percentage shot. So I agree with you in that aspect. But when Dame is going good, there's really nothing you can do with Dame. Like period. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see how it works because I can see, for instance, a baller knows a baller, right? So I can see Giannis looking at Dame and being like, man, you can get buckets easy, bro. Like you can get buckets like I can't get. And I think
Giannis is gonna take a step.
I think so. That's what I'm saying. Like Giannis will defer. I can see Giannis deferring to Dame, comparing to what Giannis would do with Jrue and even Middleton. Like Giannis would defer to Middleton. If Giannis is going to defer to Middleton, what you think he's going to do with Dame?
I agree.
So
I think Dame will ask for the rock. That's the difference between the two.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see. Like, I do think that in the regular season, this is the thing. I think in the regular, I'll agree with this way. In the regular season, I think Giannis will be the best player in the regular season. But in the postseason, when they need clutch buckets, and they just need that person to will them through. I think it's going to be Dame. Just like we saw at certain points in Giannis's career, we saw it with really like Middleton. We'd be like, dang, who Middleton getting buckets more consistent than Giannis, and who is Middleton compared to Giannis? So I do think that you have that. But yeah, I guess I'm a little bit. I have so much respect for Dame's game, so I feel like Dame is gonna get the attention that he wants. He's gonna get what he deserves. Like I think I saw something that Gilbert Arenas talked about with him and Dame, their conversation, and it was like you just need to be on that platform when you're winning games and playing a big time in big time games, and the world's gonna know who you are for real. Like if people know who you are, they're gonna really know who you are. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Milwaukee, because of the team and the way they're constructed, being a good team, I think folks will know what Dame's really about.
Interesting. Is this a Kobe and Shaq situation? Because you didn't like Kobe having the ball too much. You wanted Shaq to have the ball.
I did.
You was biased because you weren't really.
But he was gunning though. See, that's different though.
Kobe would close though.
Yeah, but he would gun though. That's different. He closed, but he would gun. That's different. Dame don't.
It's gonna be the same. It might be the same. It might be the same, fellas. I'm not gonna lie. Dame is a gunner too.
He gun, but it's different though. It's a different type. I
don't think he's passing that rock. I think when it comes down to the end of the game, I think Dame is like, I'm not passing that rock. I'm sorry. I know you're Giannis, but I'm Dame at the same time. And I does this.
Yeah, this. It's Dame time for a reason. See, Ray, you ain't had to call me out on the Kobe Shaq thing. That's messed up.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Come on, man. You know Wole be lying out here, man. Come on, man. You know he be lying out here. You know he be talking shit. Come on. It's gonna be interesting though at the end of the game. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you.
I am looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, but I do think they'll have a happy medium. But because Dame brings the ball up, I think he's gonna have to make the call, as in it's my goal. I think in the beginning he's gonna defer, but I'll give it about 30 games to be honest. I give it about 20, 30 games, and then you're gonna see normal Dame, whereas in I'm not deferring anymore because they do need me to be that closer because they actually do need him to be that closer. So we're gonna see. We gotta see how Middleton looks too. That's also a small.
That's true. That's
caveat.
What I'm saying. Yeah. From the injury,
if Middleton is healthy, then he's gonna be taking more shots and he's gonna have to be involved in the offense. So I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if Dame and Giannis is working out so well that they start to survey the market for Chris Middleton and start to survey and see his trade value. Because if you could get a couple of pieces for Chris Middleton and shore up that 2 and that 3 spot, rather than opposed to paying him, I forgot how much he's getting paid, but I think it's like 160 mil.
Oh, he in the bag.
He's getting damn near max. So I think. This is one of my bold predictions, but I think Dame and Giannis is going to work out so well that they may look into surveying the trade market for Chris Middleton. Maybe not trade him that quickly, but I do think they will survey the market if this pairing goes really well because they could use an upgrade at that 2 spot, and Chris Middleton will be their main trade piece to be used for that.
I want to talk about a player. We talked about Ayton. That's your guy. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think the Trailblazers will unlock? Yeah. Do you think the Trailblazers will unlock the potential of Ayton?
I don't know if that's a trick question you throwing at me right now. But you know what's crazy? I actually think Ayton is going to be phenomenal on the Portland Trailblazers. I actually think this situation might be tailor-made for him. You know why? Because number one, and most importantly, lower expectations. Expectations for Ayton means that he could play more comfortable, he could play more free. They won't be expecting him to play outside of his role. In the Phoenix Suns, they were going to ask him to play outside of his role. They were going to ask him to defend. They were going to ask him to rebound. They were going to ask him to block shots. They were going to ask him to protect the rim, set decent picks. All the shit that he didn't really want to do that won't show up on the stat sheet. So I think in Portland, it's a fresh start, a renewed start for him. Got my man Scoot Henson over there, who I think is going to be the rookie of the year. Unanimously, I think he's beating Webby out for that. So I think with Scoot Henson and Anthony Simons, their penetration at the rim, I think it's going to get DeAndre Ayton a lot more easy buckets. And then also a small caveat that we sleeping on. They got the Time Lord over there right now. So there's 2 things to that. With them having the Time Lord over there, Robert Williams, they said they're probably going to keep the Time Lord. They said they were going to do lineups with 4 or 5 with DeAndre Ayton and Time Lord in the lineup at the same time because DeAndre Ayton was asked about that. He said growing up and in college, his natural position was power forward anyway. So he said he has no problem playing with the Time Lord. So that's a big lineup, having Time Lord, DeAndre Ayton, Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons, and then Scoot Henson. I think that's a solid 5. I'm not gonna lie. That's a solid 5 if they run out with that unit. Also, you got Shady and Sharpness in there too. But I do think DeAndre Ayton's gonna play well, but he's got to get those rebounds. That's always been my issue with him. He doesn't rebound the ball. He doesn't block shots. well enough for a center, in my opinion. So that's going to be the key for him. Yeah, that's going to be the key for him. And listen, he's got a lot to prove. So I'm excited to see, what he's going to do. I mean, they should be fighting for a playoff play-in spot, not a playoff, play-in spot. I think they should be fighting for. But we'll see. They may surprise some folks because I got full confidence in Scoot. That's my guy right there. So I think Scoot, I think he's going to kill this year, to be honest.
So for the sake of time, bro, we know Jrue Holiday is in Boston now, and from the DMV perspective, I don't know, Wale, if you've seen this, but people like, do the Celtics think KP is really that guy? Like, is he really going to be a dude that's going to play in the middle, play tough?
Because I forgot they got KP. I keep forgetting. Yeah, they deep.
Damn,
they crazy. They deep.
Well, see, that's the thing. So who's better? Is it the Celtics currently, or is it the Bucks?
Are you asking me or what?
Yeah, man. You the guest, bro. You the star, bro. Bro.
We do. I'm gonna be honest. I think they are neck and neck. But to me personally, right now, I'm gonna give the edge to the Celtics. In my opinion, I'm gonna give edge to the Celtics. I think they're deep. They are deep, brother. I know a lot of people are sleeping. They're hating on the Kristaps Porzingis take up to the Celtics, but I think he's gonna be excellent on our squad. I think he's exactly what they need because Tatum can play the 3, he can play the 4, he can play the 2 sometimes. He can handle, he can distribute, he can do it all. So they don't need necessarily a true traditional big as they once had. And remember, they played a lot of time without the Time Lord. So they're already used to playing without a shot blocking center, a rebounding center in that lineup. And I can't even say shot blocking because KP, he'll get you those blocks. And with next to Al Horford, he'll spell a lot of minutes for him. What's most importantly is that what the Time Lord couldn't do, Porzingis could space the floor. That's really what they needed because a lot of times the offense was getting bogged down. They didn't really have a primary distributor, which they still don't really have. So I feel like they still might look into the point guard market unless they're looking to upgrade Peyton Pritchard, off the bench and have him play a lot more minutes because they do kind of need a point guard from time to time. But
backup point guard, right?
Backup point guard, because Jrue Holiday, he's not a true distributor also as well. He's still a combo guard. But I think that lineup is deep. And how do you score on that roster? Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, KP. People sleeping on KP, but he's gonna get you them blocks. And
he gonna get you 15 easy just off because he don't got to worry about because you're gonna worry about everybody else. And then he does block shots. He is that dude that blocks shots. And also, man, you lost Marcus Smart, but you got a better version of Marcus Smart. That's the thing. You got a better version of Marcus Smart. I'm with you. I think they're better. They're better. I give them the edge over Milwaukee, and it's because it's a perfect fit for what they do. It's like the perfect fit. Like you keep your same brand, but also like you said, there's more spacing now. Like Jrue Holiday is a good mid-range shooter. He can shoot a 3 ball. He's a good mid-range shooter, and he's a big guard. He can post. There's so much he can do. You got Tatum, Brown.
I'm gonna throw one thing into you to add on to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Jrue Holiday is low mileage. He's a low mileage player. He doesn't need the ball as much.
He don't need it. He don't.
He can hit the 2, he can hit the 3. So exactly what you were saying. Well, I agree. He just low mileage, brother.
Yes, and then he's just strapped. Like you just know you put him on your back. It's just the perfect. Like if you were thinking of all right, what player fits Boston? It's Jrue Holiday. It's just a perfect fit. Like more than anything. Sometimes I know we all get enamored with the star player going here, but sometimes when a fit is just perfect, that's just a perfect fit. So to your point about even KP, I just forgot about KP. Like the spacing's gonna be better. Like there's just so much. Like even like Jaylen Brown, the slasher, can get more like room to go to the basket. Now he hasn't worried about his pat being thorough. Like he can get to the basket a little bit easier because nothing's congested. Even Al Horford, when you have him, he's still picking pops and shoots the 3. So yeah, I'm with you, bro. Like they're definitely a different team with it. So real quick before we let you go, I will ask about the Suns. It seems like their bench is now built up. Like are the Suns a dangerous team now? Now they got a bench because of the trade.
They are very dangerous, but they also have holes in their roster, as a lot of contenders do. Now, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of the DeAndre Ayton Nurkic trade because I understand why the trade was done because Nurkic will play his role a lot more, which will be screening, rebounding, being a protector at the rim, bringing a big body that they need. But I do think they downgraded in talent in terms of DeAndre Ayton to Nurkic, because I'm gonna be honest, Nurkic is not really trustworthy in the playoffs, and also he can be played off the floor in the playoffs by opposing guards. A guard like Steph Curry, a guard like Chris Paul, Scoot Henderson, guards like that. They're gonna be able to play Nurkic off the floor, because once the Suns start switching, Nurkic can't guard any elite perimeter guard on the perimeter behind the three-point line, whatever the case may be. He can't guard anybody. I think he's going to have trouble also in pick and roll situations. So, but I think the Suns are going to go I think he's going to be on the bench a lot of times in important times. And I think you're going to see a lot of Kevin Durant at center, to be honest with you. I think we're going to see KD at center in these lineups and either bowl with him, Kenyatta Bates, Ja. You're gonna see a lot of Nasir Little. Bo is my guy. That's the secret weapon.
Hey, I love Bo.
Bo is my guy, and that's gonna be the secret weapon. Listen, I said on Twitter, a couple people was mad at me that I said the Suns about to unlock Bo. That was the best part, bro. I'm hoping. Yeah, that was the best part of the DeAndre Ayton trade. I think my son Bo is about to be unlocked and unleashed on the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I think him playing with KD, he has a prototypical guy that he can learn from, that he can learn how to play the right way. And I think now with the trade of DeAndre Ayton on the lowest of keys, the Suns now have a need for Bo. They need his shot blocking at the rim. He's not a great shot blocker. We know he's not a great defender, especially on the perimeter, but he can still block some shots.
Well, I'm with you, bro.
And yeah, so that's going to be his main thing. He has to rebound better. He has to bulk up a little bit more. But I think the Suns are going to be playing a fast-paced type of game and really get out and run on the perimeter. So hopefully they can sustain in the paint. If they play a team that's going to slow down the pace and slow down the pace and post up, they may have some trouble. But I still think they'll be all right. They have holes, but then they also have a lot of pros in their roster with their being depth, and they have a lot of 6'6" to 6'9" rangy, versatile forwards that they now can use. So I think the Suns going to be a tough out. We know that already. Suns going to be at the top of the West.
Man, basketball season's almost here. I'm just so boosted. Hey, man, thanks, man. Thanks, home, for being on. Before we let you go, tell the listeners how they can catch your pod. Plug your YouTube channel, social medias, plug everything, my man.
No problem, brother. Appreciate the invite, of course. My man, Wole, I got to get you on the show soon. My man, Ray, appreciate you talking to you again, fellas. It's a pleasure every time you guys invite me on the Urban Sports Scene. I appreciate the love as always. You can catch Above the Rim podcast anywhere you find your podcast, anywhere on YouTube, on Twitter, at Jus Blaze _513. You can catch me there on IG. It's the same shit. Holla at me, tell a friend to tell a friend. Fellas, I need y'all on the show because we got to talk some shit. We got a lot of shit.
Hey, bro, man, anytime.
I got shit to talk about your Lakers, brother.
Okay, we gonna go in. Oh, okay, let's talk. We're gonna talk about it. Okay. Invite me, we in there. We in there.
Ray, I might have to bring you on for a DC episode, my brother, to talk about them Wizards, man. I might have to talk about them because y'all gonna have some tough days going forward, man. So I'm gonna have to bring you on to talk about those boys right there.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, brother. I'm cool with tough days. As long as we build in the right way. Cool
I feel you. I hear that. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the invite, fellas. I appreciate it. Man. Check me out anyway, and I gotta have y'all all soon. Much love, fellas.
I appreciate you. Already know what time it is, bro. All right, boy. Hey, man. Oh, man. Basketball season about to be lit, dog. It's going to be lit. But you know what was lit? Saturday was lit, dog, man. It was official. But only on the Canelo side. It wasn't lit for Jermell Charlo. It was not lit at all. The smoke wasn't there for Jermell, man. It just wasn't there at all. Let me introduce our next guest, man. Right now, we are joined by hosts of the Adams Boxing Show, Wayne and Jermaine. What's going on, fellas? And welcome back to the Urban Sports Scene. What's good, man? What's good, bro?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Ray and Wole, what's going on?
We good, bro. We good. Glad to have you back on, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. We're trying to get the camera and everything right. We're trying to set it up.
Y'all cool.
It's all good. Do y'all realize though what happened though? Because we kicked it at the Gary Antoine Russell fight. That might have been the last time Showtime Boxing came to DC, fam. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Part of history.
Right. Done with everything now. So that was the last time.
Possibly, yeah.
It was. Amazon Prime coming out, cuz, right?
Go ahead, man. Yo, man. Amazon Prime. I don't got no Amazon Prime.
Who would have thought that would Showtime be going to an end like that?
Just go back to HBO, man. What they doing to me, bro? What they doing? They dirty.
It seemed like they bowed out from boxing. It seemed like for the same reason Showtime is boxing. It's really not as lucrative as it's been in the past. I don't know if this has to do with certain fighters or how the promoters is promoting guys, but they're not bringing in the same numbers as some of these guys that come on Twitter and like to say what they bringing in. It ain't. Maybe y'all getting a little change, but everybody ain't getting their change. So, the whole story ain't really being told, but it's being told now because you got a big network like Paramount, who's like a Power 5 company in the entertainment world. If they bow out, then it's an issue. So you have to look at that,
So it's wild because you would think like this year of boxing has been kind of dope, though.
Yeah, it has been, but it hasn't been consistently like that. You know what I'm saying? Like since Mayweather really been gone, especially on the Showtime end, man, they've been really sprinkling little events to try to make it seem like it, we doing good, we doing that. But why would Paramount be leaving?
True.
That's the thing. They wouldn't leave if the numbers was right. You know what I'm saying? But boxing is not really that mainstream sport in the United States like it was in the past, when in the 90s, early 2000s, the 80s. If this was the 90s, soon as PBC would have even came out with a rumor that they were leaving, or Showtime was dropping them, or Paramount was dropping whoever, somebody would have picked them up the first day that they were out. You know what I'm saying? It show you that boxing ain't where it used to be, because somebody would have got them all instantly. So you'll never see nothing like this happen.
That's crazy.
This is crazy. Wow, man. Al Heyman is he's part to blame because of the matchmaking, for real. But I mean, we could go over it all day. But last weekend, there was an event, of course. Canelo, Charlo, Jermell, and Canelo dominated Jermell, dropped him in the 7th round. You predicted that Canelo would win by decision. Most people did. That's what our prediction was last week. As a matter of fact, the numbers from this fight are going to dictate if Showtime has pay-per-views next year, just for 1 year until the year 2025 comes around. So we'll see what the numbers are. But what was your thoughts on that fight? And did you feel like Charlo? I feel like Charlo wasn't scared, but many people feel like Terrence Crawford. You saw his comment. They feel like he really didn't bring the fight. He came to get paid and stay clean.
I mean, I just think Canelo just levels above Charlo, and I think Charlo knew that, and so he wasn't about to take any risks. He was just happy just to not get knocked out.
I agree. He checked out after he felt the power, he felt the strength, and I think he tried. He threw some good shots at Canelo.
He did
a couple left hooks.
You know what I'm saying? I think he checked out. This one is gonna be a game and all that stuff. So he just got up out of there.
Canelo is a machine, bro. But you saw right after that fight, Tank Davis came out and said, "Don't get it twisted. I'm still the face of boxing." Many are saying, well, the way Canelo dominated Charlo is still Canelo's. And then, of course, we got Terrence, who's like, all right, I'm trying to step in. I want to fight Canelo now. Who's the face of boxing right now?
I still give the edge to Canelo. What you say, Wayne? I still think I give the edge to Canelo.
In the black community, it's Tank.
Right.
Hands down. Like, we don't stop what we doing really for a Canelo fight, to be honest with you. Really,
That's true. That's true.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? You go down to the local, the basketball court, ain't nobody talking about Canelo, especially in the black community. We're not talking about Canelo
at all.
You know what I'm saying? But Canelo is probably so. I want to just break it down in sectors. You have to go, okay, throughout the Mexicans, it's clear now. And it's the Mexican. Then you got the black community, they riding with Tank. It's not everybody was just teamed in. It's not nobody has really replaced Mayweather. It's just Canelo is probably the closest thing to that.
Yeah. And by Canelo fighting Charlo, it kind of brought the blacks back in it. Because we was kind of off of Canelo, especially when we're just talking about we talking about the community.
Especially from his recent fights.
Yeah,
he was off that way for a little while.
Dang, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that, bro. So what would Canelo versus Benavidez do for the black community? Because that's more like a global fight.
It's a global fight.
Hardcore boxing fan do much for. Of course, you have.
Do we lose them?
Yeah, it looked like we might have lost him.
All right. No, it's wild when they talk like I would like that's an interesting point though.
Right in the black community.
There you go, they back.
But people gonna check it out. Just for the fact is, like I said, it's a big fight.
Yeah, I wonder how you globalize Tank. I guess he got to stop getting in trouble so you can market him.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely that.
Gotta stop getting in trouble. That's how you got to market this dude.
Hey. Yeah, he's creating that bad boy type image that people like. And a lot of people want him to lose just for the fact that he was linked with Floyd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he can't shake that regardless if they try to say he's not with Floyd or not anymore or not. But you know what I'm saying? Tank definitely is a big super. I look at him as a superstar because I went to his fight in DC. Were y'all at the fight in DC?
No, but I know he was. I know what was happening down there. Folks' cars getting robbed in. It was getting like.
Man, it was crazy. It was like a club.
Crazy.
There, man.
I know. I heard it was crazy. I heard it was crazy though.
You know what? That's a good point, bro. I mean, Floyd is so hard to replace. Floyd rocked the sombrero to the ring. He over in the UK, and him and Ricky Hatton, they both talking.
Man,
everybody's booing him. They wanted to hurt him, bro. Like, Floyd was the best marketer I've ever seen in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I think Ali, of course, was before us, but yeah, I don't know, man. But I didn't even.
The biggest draw to me ever has been like the biggest draw to me ever. I mean, Floyd's a big draw, but only because it was like Mike, because Mike will lose and still be the biggest draw.
That's true. Now, Canelo beating Charlo, that was a 19th world champion he defeated in his career. Like, that's crazy to think.
Yeah.
That is. I mean, it shows you his resume. His resume is second to none in the game of boxing. A lot of these guys really don't have that, even a resume even close. But that shows you that he takes on credible opponents. I know we kind of critique him and be like, man, well, this guy really ain't a top 3. But if he's fighting a top 6 guy, that's still good,
bro. Still good
compared to what these other guys do.
I'm telling you, I got so much respect for Canelo. I do. I'm not one of them people who be like, oh, he don't fight. Like, he fight people, man. He may not fight the person I want him to fight sometimes. But
right, at that certain time, he might not fight.
Saying? Like I want him to fight Benavidez. I want him to fight him. I want him to fight Benavidez. Like, now, I don't want to hear this talk. You gotta fight him ASAP. But when you look at the resume, like, it is what it is. Like, I don't care what folks try. You can hate. That's just hate. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta acknowledge, like, out of all in the era of boxing, when we complain that people don't fight people, old boy fight people.
He does.
And he fights them, and he fight
guy at the time. That's all.
Yeah, and he fight them at they ain't like he fighting them when they done. He fight them when they still ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You may not like the outcome of, you may say, like, Triple G. You may think Triple G would beat him or whatever, but he fighting that dude. Like, he is fighting that dude. He's not saying
still beat a lot of guys now.
Yeah.
No way.
Talk to who? Okay.
I think Triple G might have beat Charlo. Do Charlo fought Canelo? I wouldn't be surprised Triple G beat him
right now, huh?
It wouldn't surprise me at all, man. He can't take Canelo power. Triple G can crack too.
Yeah, true. So what's next? What's next for Jermell then? I forget. We talk about.
Well, I think he should probably consider going to 160. If we go back to 154, that's fine. But I think he should definitely go back down. He shouldn't stay at 168. What you think, bro?
I think he should go to 160. But politics is involved. I would like to see him against guys like Janabek. I think Adam he can fight that guy.
There's a lot of unknown, like, a lot of people don't know these names because these guys are not as popular like that. But there's a lot of good fighters at middleweight. But he said he want to go back down to 154 where he has 3 belts. Now they took 1 belt from him. Yeah. He got stripped. So I mean, seems like 154 is his move.
Maybe he can get that Mendoza and Zoo winner. Okay. That's always still out there.
What's a non-name dude that would be a good fight? Would be a good challengeable fight, not a fight that like an easy fight for him, but a good challengeable fight that one of the guys you just mentioned that folks don't know about.
For Jermell,
I think Fundura.
That's a good fight. That's
I never
a good
thought
fight
about that one.
That's a really good fight. You got a guy that he knocked out already, Lubin. Lubin might want that rematch, but they don't do rematches like that because he got knocked out bad.
And he really didn't win his last fight, but it's okay. Continue.
Yeah,
he really didn't win his last fight, but that's a whole different discussion.
You know what I'm saying? So that's so those are some names, but so it's a lot of different names out there that's floating around. But is he going willing to take that risk and take him on just after getting this big old payday? He might be real picky about who he fight now. He might got Hollywood now, so we don't know. You know,
you think Jermell will go Hollywood after that performance?
He already kind of said it.
Yeah,
real talk. There's nothing to go Hollywood off. I know you're getting paid, but ain't nothing to go Hollywood off. I mean, and I like Jermell. Ain't nothing to go Hollywood off of that joint.
I know, but these guys that type of money, man.
Yeah, ain't nothing. That's not like sometimes when you take the L against a supreme boxer, if you just kind of not say you go down in your shield, but when you can compete, then people acknowledge you. Then it's like, yeah, you become a household name. You kind of be like, all right, you competed against that dude. But this one was like, you know, I mean, anytime you got critics that say like you just went in there and just to get paid, that's a problem. Like that is a problem. I don't care what it is. It's a boxer, it's a problem.
It
you know
is a problem.
So I don't know how he can get just because you fought Canelo. I don't see how that's a thing to say, all right, you could be Hollywood. You still gotta accomplish something in that fight. Not to say you gotta win, but you gotta accomplish something in that fight to be Hollywood when you weren't Hollywood before.
He's really like acting like he got a moral victory. Like it's the fact that I lasted. Yeah. I'm a big bad guy that took the chance, and I lasted. The other guys got knocked out, stopped, bloodied up. He's going to use that as his bargaining tool going forward. I lasted with Canelo.
Yeah,
you know.
I would argue to say that Caleb Plant looked more of a soldier against Canelo than him.
Yeah, he fought a better fight. He fought a way better fight.
You know,
I would make the argument that like he tried to mix it up. Like Caleb wasn't scared. He tried. Like he didn't want to. He felt his power and he didn't back down. He got his butt whipped, but he didn't back down though. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't running. He wasn't like Jermell ran for some of that fight. Like they can call it moving, but he felt his power and he was like, I ain't trying to feel this 24/7. Let me move around. Let me get away from the corner or whatever. And it's boxing, but it wasn't like he was trying to get and trade blows with Canelo. Caleb was cool with trading blows with Canelo. He was cool with it.
Caleb actually won round versus Canelo. Charlo might only won one
round. Yeah, exactly. So I would make the argument to say, like, yeah, if you want to say who's somebody who looked better in a defeat, I would say Caleb looked better in defeat compared to Jermell.
Oh, I agree 1,000%. Well, Derek tell Jermell that he was losing. Yeah, Derek James told him he was losing and told him he needed to step it up.
And he still didn't do it.
I think he checked out already. He wasn't trying to. The trainer advice didn't mean nothing to him at a certain point in that fight
at all.
You know what I'm saying? He already had it mental. It almost sounded like he had his post-fight speech almost sounded like it was already written before the fight because he was too clear cut but with everything he was saying. I was like, wait a minute, you ain't just come up with that just instantly. You know.
So when you want to do the film study, right? You watch the film study, and then you run it back. You get your analysis is always spot on. Because I said this last week, the common opponent between these two was Austin Trout. Both Canelo and Jermell beat Austin Trout, but Austin Trout looked much better against Canelo than Charlo did. Charlo beat Austin Trout.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, what's his name? Trout was a little bit long in the tooth at that time. He wasn't really the same no more. He was still good, but he took some, he had his tough fights the time Charlo got to him. I actually thought the fight that Trout had with Canelo was really close. From first watch, I had Trout winning by like one.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
But then I watched it again. I said it couldn't really win either way.
Mm-hmm. So you trying to say when Trout fought Charlo, that he was at a different place in his life.
Yeah, Trout wasn't the same guy no more. He done took some well. He done gave out some licks too, but he was a little bit long in the tooth the time Charlo got to him.
Then Trout got stopped by Lillard, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he got stopped by a guy that don't really stop guys. So
that's true.
So we talked about Charlo. All right, I mean, Ray and I, we want him to see Benavidez next. I mean, in terms of Canelo, we want him to see Benavidez next.
He got to get past Boo Boo Andrade, but I hope it seems like everybody's looking past Andrade already.
Oh, I am. I ain't gonna hold you. I am. I'm that person. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am looking past him. I am that person. You can. I raise my hand. I own it. I am looking. This is. It's gonna be nasty work. That's in my opinion.
It's a remarkable fight. It gets you out of your seat more. I don't think really too many people want to see Demetrius Andrade fight Canelo. Even if he win, I think people would kind of be disappointed, hoping that Benavidez win anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Look, man, I'm on this side. It could be a robbery. I need a robbery. I need to make sure. I need Canelo Benavidez. I want him to see his boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Canelo.
I think it's the perfect fight.
I think Canelo know. You know, so he know like this is different. You know what I'm saying? This is a different type of boxer. This dude is bigger. He's stronger. You know, Canelo got an iron chin. Like that thing real. That dude's something else.
Yeah,
but like
barely even stumble off of him.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying that but Benavidez is a different animal. Like this is a different animal. You know what I'm saying? So
it is.
That's the fight. I think that Canelo's been taking his time for a reason. Like he know this.
Yeah. And I do think he will fight him. He has 2 fights left with PBC, and I think one of them will be Benavidez for sure. I would say at least 90%. I think is one of them's going to at least be Benavidez.
Do you think the Bud Crawford Canelo talk is just BS, or do you think it's like?
I think it's all smoke screen. I think Bud would fight him. I think Bud would take the challenge. I just don't think Canelo is that interested because he made a statement, criticizing Bud's resume. And for a guy that's already bigger and makes way more money, why would you need to take that route with the resume? It's like an extra shot. It's like beating a dead horse. You didn't have to take that route. You could have just simply said, "Yeah, the guy is just too small for me." What are you guys talking about? Why would you go to his resume?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's a low blow.
I don't think he need to talk about the resume because Bud right now is a hot product.
Right.
Like in terms of money, this is good for you. You're right. Because I'm like, right now, this Bud is the hottest Bud has been. Bud is one of the hottest boxers, period, just because of that win.
Yeah, he is. But
you know what I'm saying?
He shot it down. Like to attack that man resume like that when you already multiple weight classes bigger, you're 3 weight classes up from it, and you make way more money than Bud. You didn't have to go the resume route. The fact that you took that route, you was trying to stump that whole scenario.
Yep.
Because all you had to do was say, "Yeah, he's just too small. Why are we talking about that?"
Interesting.
And then nobody could. What response can you really give to that?
True. True. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing you can really say. Nothing you can say. That's wild. Yeah, looking at because I don't think like for Bud, there's no need to even have that type of argument because again, this is like Bud is now one of them in terms of the market, in terms of being marketed. He's one of them right now. It is.
Yeah, he is.
He's one of them right now,
like you said, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, all right. Speaking of a fight that everybody want to see, it's been reported that Tyson Fury and Usyk have signed contracts for an undisputed heavyweight championship fight in Saudi Arabia. The word is it will happen in the winter. Are you surprised that we're finally going to get this, and we're going to pretty much get this pretty soon?
Well, I'm shocked because the heavyweights, it seems they've been quiet too.
Big time, bro.
Yeah, we've never gotten Joshua versus Fury. I thought that was a fight that could have happened. Joshua versus Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy that we actually finally have a big heavyweight fight.
Yeah, what about you, Ray?
The heavyweight division needs this. It really does. I mean, y'all know we all from the same era, man. The heavyweight division was crazy for years. So I'm glad Tyson Fury is finally doing this, especially considering he's getting ready to fight an MMA guy. We just trying to figure out, fellas, like what's the best venue? What's the best venue for this fight to take place? Is it Saudi Arabia?
I mean, I don't think it's Saudi Arabia. I mean, but they got that money. They just tossing money at guys over there. Of course, I would love to see a big heavyweight fight in America, but the Saudis, man, I don't know where they're getting this money from. Somewhere under the ground, somewhere, man, because I ain't never seen them interested in boxing ever before. They ain't never been in boxing like that. So I'm trying to figure out where is this interest coming from.
It's money. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, man.
You know what? The wild thing, you're right. I just feel like, I mean, I know, like, because it's wild. Saudi, it's funny on a different topic, like in terms of like wrestling, like they pay a lot for that too. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not surprised you're gonna pay for pro wrestling. You're gonna pay for a high level boxing fight, right?
Yeah,
that was the back of my mind. But then I'm thinking, just in terms of viewership, and for pay per view buys, because people got to stay. I mean, that time frame is different. You had a fight of Usyk and Fury of that caliber. You want to kind of make it a whole event. And I know they're not American boxers, but it's still they're the best boxers in the game in terms of the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is still, at the end of the day, it is the division when you got quality dudes. You know what I'm saying? These are 2 quality dudes. You know,
not like and
I don't care what your race is, what your background is. If you watch boxing, like boxing, this is a fight that you want to happen. You've been wanting to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I would have preferred for this fight to be in Vegas. I mean, I guess Vegas doesn't have that allure anymore in terms of like we gonna especially if you're a European or you're a foreign boxer, you're always open to fight outside of the United States of America. But I just think this fight could be dope in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Like just that vibe and that excitement of, it would be something totally different because at the end of the day in boxing, the genesis of the home of boxing has always been like Vegas. You know what I'm saying? If you got a big fight, you would want it to be in Vegas.
But and the thing about that though, what was the thing about that is back then when you had a guy like Don King and Bob Arum controlling these heavyweights and stuff like that, these American guys, so they wasn't really looking to try to throw everything in Europe and Asia and all that stuff. I mean, Don King did his few little events in Africa and the Philippines and stuff. But at the same time, they still was about making big fights in America. Now you got your You got a guy like Frank Warren, who's a British guy. You got Eddie Hearn. They're about making things on their side of the hemisphere. They're not tripping about just making everything over there in America, because they kind of almost competing with the Al Haymans and the Bob Arams and all these other small American promoters. So they want to keep things on their side of the hemisphere.
Yeah, it's wild. Like I think that when I heard it was in Saudi Arabia, I was like, oh, come on, man. Now folks gotta be like, that's like in the afternoon. Like nobody got time for that.
I want my heavyweight fight coming on when it's dark outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How you gonna have a fight party in the afternoon? Who do that? What they do that?
People ain't even got off work yet, man. Yeah, birthday parties going on. Kids, stuff like that.
Some folks gonna be with their kids. Like, what they do that at? Like, it's a heavyweight fight. Like, what we doing?
I don't really care for it. I'm gonna watch it, but I want heavyweight fight when it's dark outside and the street lights is on. That's what I want.
I'm with you. So if we got this fight, are we going to see Joshua Wilder?
It almost seems like they have to make that happen. If you're gonna make this happen, you got to bring in this one too.
You would think it'll be inevitable. That's been brewing for a long time.
Yeah, you guys could have fought 8-9 years ago.
Yeah,
but I still watch, and I think it's the second best fight they can make in the division.
I agree. So where do you think that fight would be at? I'm just your guess. Where would that fight be at?
It's like you probably gonna lose your money if you bet on anything outside of Saudi Arabia. Next fight will be England.
I think London. I'm thinking too. I'm thinking like they probably put in London. They probably would.
Look, look, y'all gonna have to, get y'all passports and go over there.
I know you ain't lying, bro.
You about to say, Ray? I ain't doing it, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm saying, I don't trust it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna need some incentivized, and I'm gonna need some promises made before I go, man. Set in stone, written before I make that move, bro.
If I'm making that move, they gotta have everything laid out for me. Give me the presidential treatment. Me do all that.
Man,
I'll go with De La Hoya. I will ride with him, bro. He get out of everything, so I'm no,
hey, man, man. Go ahead, Ray.
You got Bomac in jail. Oscar that had drugs on him and everything, man.
Go ahead.
That's a good point, Ray.
Oh, you crazy, man. You are crazy.
Get that Oscar love, man.
Yeah.
Hey, before we let y'all go though, what y'all think about Carmel Moten? Like you see that 30-punch combo that dude let loose?
Yeah, I seen a little. I seen
that's Mayweather boy.
Like a 6-7 year veteran. The way he was just throwing the punches like that.
Yeah, Mayweather. You saw Mayweather boy, right?
Yeah, Carmel Moten.
Yeah, I heard he the next one, the new Tank.
He tough.
He look like Tank.
I heard he the new Tank. I heard he look like Tank. Yeah, he do look like Tank. I heard he the new Tank. I heard he the new protege. He's the one.
Yeah, it seemed like Floyd was ready to make him a millionaire within a year or two. That's what he said. So I mean, he must be about to make him fight 15 times a year then.
Yeah.
So how is that gonna happen? But we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, I got you. I've been trying to get Earl to get with Floyd, man. Shoot, after that whipping, but bud. He need to get with Earl. He need to get with Floyd. Floyd does wonders for these cats.
Yeah, that'd be really beneficial for him.
Yeah, man, because James ain't cutting it right now. Hey, before we let you, like Ray said, before we let you go, let our listeners know how you can catch your content, catch you on social media. Also, when I'm talking about your content, it's your stuff on YouTube and your boxing breakdowns.
Oh yeah, definitely follow us on Adams Boxing Show at Twitter, man. Very active on Twitter. Got one of the best boxing Twitters on the net, man. Definitely.
Facts.
We still got the YouTube as well, man.
Yeah, we under construction on YouTube. We getting ready to drop some real good new stuff coming soon on there, but definitely get us on YouTube and Twitter, Adams Boxing Show.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all again, man.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. We done with Saudi Arabia. We get something in Vegas. All right, folks. All right, y'all take it easy, man.
Take it easy, Ray.
Appreciate y'all. Hey, man, great, man. Yeah, man. Hopefully we get that Saudi Arabia stuff. They be doing that way too much, dude. I'm a foreigner. Well, I'm born here, but my folks are foreign. I got foreign ability. You know what I'm saying? And I want stuff in Vegas. Bro. You know what I'm saying? I want it in Vegas or even New York. I'm cool with Brooklyn. Brooklyn cool. I could do that too.
As long as Eddie Hearn is involved or Bob Arum, it's a chance that could happen. So I wouldn't be shocked if Saudi Arabia is the venue.
Yeah, I mean it's big money. I mean I get it. It's just that I just feel like the vibe as a boxing fan, it's always a little different from Vegas, but it is what it is. Hey, man, this has been a great show. Hey, so make sure before we end the show, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, hit us up on X. Just tweet us at Urban Sports Scene, IG at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click hit the red subscribe button. Also like this video. Also make sure you check out the home of the Urban Sports Scene, Amplifier Media at ampfiremedia.com. This show can be found on the Podcast DC app. Download the Podcast DC app to hear all of the Amplifier shows as well as other great content. All right, man, this has been a great show. Great guest. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. You dig? Deuces. A Mega. Lead us out, big homie.
Peace.